this is Donna Briggs, and I'm here at the premiere of BET's Hit the Floor. You've done a lot of different things. What made you come up with the Hit the Floor?
Hit the Floor started at VH1. They had a couple of shows on the air at the time that were working well for them. One was Basketball Wives, which was reality, which is still on. The other was Single Ladies, which isn't on anymore, but it was a soap for them. And basically they were like, what if we had like kind of like a behind the scenes of basketball, but like it got real juicy. So it was behind the scenes with through the eyes of really kind of the female characters, because it's a soap. So they called me up because that's kind of what I do. I like strong women. Okay. And so they said, would you like to come and talk to us about doing the show? And the rest is history. Then Asha and Yelena and Kyle were born. It's been a mess ever since.
Well, what made you come up with the title, Hit the Floor?
You know, that's a great question, which I'm not actually asked very much. We had, our first title was Devil Girls, then it became Bounce, then it was Game On for like a day. And it was almost like a lottery at the network trying to go like, what's the name of the show, what's the name of the show? There was all these options, and I think we were Bounce for a bunch of episodes, and then finally it came down to Hit the Floor. And when I tell you, like, people cried on set.
Why?
They were so used to Bounce, and they were like, hit the floor. Like, people, like, I'm not gonna say who they were, but it was like main cast was like, they were so in love with right? And now it's like you couldn't think of anything.
That's pretty dramatic.
Well, I mean, this is a dramatic cast. But now you can't imagine the show as anything but Hit the Floor.
Did you cast them? I mean, did you pick the people out? Or?
I sure did.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yes, I did.
For each character, you knew, like, that person would be good for this.
Yeah, well, casting is really hard. I don't know about you, but when I watch a TV show and I see that there are certain actors that aren't so hot, I go, who do they know? Like, why are they here? So
who do they sleep with?
Somebody. Or maybe two, because if it's a good role. But I'm really hard when it comes to casting. Like, some of the actors auditioned for the show like 8 times. Yeah.
I mean, after 8 times, I'm thinking, they don't want you.
No, well, by the time 8 rolls around, they're like numb. They're just like, it's in God's hands. Who knows what's going to happen? But there's a lot of hoops you have to jump through to get on a show. And certainly when you wind up with a cast with like Logan Browning and Kat Bailess and McKinley Freeman, I mean, it's a lot of work. But then you wind up with a cast that's like flawless and amazing. And
so they work well together.
Oh my God! They one of the things I look for when I cast is what the energy they bring with. Like, you've got a great energy.
I know, I feel I have a good aura about me.
You have a good aura about you, and so. But if you hire people who have a good energy, if I like them, then chances are their co-star will like them because we're all growing off the same thing. Okay. And what winds up happening is we've got a great, like a little family situation. We'll laugh at each other, with each other, make fun of each other.
So to me, you feel very spiritual. Like you're very spiritually connected. I mean, I don't know, but you feel like you are because I feel your energy.
I think energy. I think I'm empathetic, if that's the right word. I think.
Not sympathetic.
Well, sometimes I can be sympathetic. You know what? When I think I grew up with a mom who she'd always zero in on one person who might not be talking in a room and just give that person a little wink or something just to know that they're there. So I tend to notice people in the room and the energy of the room. So if someone's kind of like down, like way over there, I kind of, you like to bring everybody up to your energy because it's, it's not a long life. You got to be.
That's true. That's true. That's true. And what's your next project? I mean, are you going to be what new things are you? I know you're working on something else because I've heard rumors that you're working on something else.
Oh my God, rumors. I will say, for now, I am eating, breathing, and sleeping Hit the Floor, and the new stuff that I'm doing actually is a little bit with Hit the Floor in one way because I'm going to be on it this season as like cast. I'm
really
an actor on the show. I've done it once before.
Can you do that? Put yourself on the show?
You can, unfortunately. They're like, oh, fine, James, go ahead.
So what are you going to be?
I'm returning. I was in one episode in season 3. My character's name is Pierce, and he's kind of the keeper of the secrets. And everyone is always trying to be petty with each other, get what the other person has. And so I am very useful because I have perhaps information that'll, I'm not going to swear, but mess your life up a little bit. So.
Oh, so you're like, what is that guy? I forgot the name of the show. And the guy like goes around and fixes things. And
I'm sort of like the opposite of the fixer. I kind of help make the mess or whatever. Like there's Olivia Pope who's like, it's handled, and I go up and I'm like, I messed it up.
Oh no!
So that's kind of what I'm doing. That's new. I'm in a few episodes this season, and I get to have some scenes with people who normally I'm directing them, and so now I'm in scenes with them, and they're like, give me acting tips and stuff. So it's actually really fun.
So are you always looking for new cast members, or you're just basically just go with the flow? It depends on what you're in your mind. Like, do ideas to come up?
Yeah, it's really, we write everything on the show in advance before we film it, which some shows kind of write at the same time. We write everything in advance, so I shape those characters very specifically, and then we look for them. So I'm not like walking down the street and going, oh, wouldn't she be?
Okay.
I discovered her at a 7-Eleven, and now she's a superstar. They all go through the audition process. They know who they're coming to audition for and stuff. So, but what I love is finding people who actually. I don't seek people who don't have a big resume, but I'm not afraid if you don't have a big resume, because there are several people in our cast who really didn't come to the table with the same kind of credits that you might somewhere else. But that doesn't bother me. For me, I go, I like what they're doing. It's interesting. They don't have like those TV tricks that other people have learned, where it seems kind of like glossy and fake. Like they just talk like normal people do and act like normal people do, and I love that. I like fresh faces.
Like fresh.
Yes.
New.
Yes.
Like me.
Yeah. Action.
It was a pleasure talking to you.
A pleasure talking to you too. Thank you so much.
Thanks so much.
Appreciate it.
I'm here with Jamie Lawson, known as KYNDALL.
Yes, hi, I'm good. How are you?
She's absolutely fabulous, you guys.
Thank you.
So what made you want to get into doing Hit the Floor?
Ooh, well, first of all, who doesn't want to do Hit the Floor?
Okay.
I was actually working on a show called Tales, and some people in high places were actually on the set while I was performing, and they asked, like, hey, can you dance? And I was like, yes, why? Okay. And they're like, there's a show that we have coming out, but we haven't even started auditions yet. So long story short, I started auditioning way before everybody else, and I think, let me tell it, I think James had me in his head as Jamie from the first audition, and then everybody else that came after it was kind of like, no, it's KYNDALL.
Yes, well, I just interviewed him, and he was like, I always have someone in my mind.
Yeah,
So
I
he
think
had
that's
you
back
in
early. Yeah, absolutely. I think so.
So what are the exciting things you like about being on the show?
Oh my God, there's so many. I think the main thing for me was the show taught me about like my own personal drive. Like we have to rehearse for 8 hours, sometimes 9 hours a day.
Wow.
And I wanted to throw up. I had like my 3 inhalers on deck because girl, I got bronchial asthma, so it was serious. Yeah, so I was just like, I kept telling my husband like, I'm gonna die. Like, I'm gonna cry. I rolled my ankle the first day of rehearsal. I was just like, oh.
Okay, so 8 hours, like is it 8 hours and it's a break, or?
We do get breaks because Michael Rooney, our choreographer, is incredible. He has done this plus many more amazing choreography. But he gives us breaks, but it's still very hard. And then especially when you're shooting the dance, it's like you don't want to like fuck up at all. And then you just kind of keep going and keep pushing yourself to the point of like you're about to pass
Do you
out.
stay the night there? No. Okay, you just work all day.
We just work all day. We go home. We're like sweaty, disgusting, and then we wake up early the next morning, do it all again until it's like rehearsal.
So what time do you get up?
Geez, maybe 3 in the morning, and then sometimes I have to go home till like midnight. That's not every day, but our call times can be like 5 in the morning. And when you live far, I live in Corona, California, so it's really far. You have to drive, and you gotta like prepare yourself. So yeah, I live pretty far.
So when did you know that you're gonna be on the show? When did you say, I know I got the part?
Okay, I didn't know I got this part, y'all. I was so nervous. I was telling my husband, like, oh my God, it's been months. Like, they are not going to call me back. If they were, they would have. They kept asking for different, like, videotapes of me dancing because I was in Houston at the time and everybody was in LA. And I couldn't just fly out at my leisure. So they were like, just send us another dance tape. I was like, oh, that means they hated it and they're never going to call me back. So it literally was not until my agent called me, because she only calls me when I get a part. She'll like text or email me otherwise. I was like, yeah, I got this. I was crying on the phone with my attorney. I was like, oh my God. It was crazy, but I didn't think I got it up until then.
I mean, my thing is, you kind of have a gut instinct usually about these things. What, you knew?
You never know. Like, I knew that I gave it my all, and I knew that I was right for the part. But there's so many different circumstances. Like, there's so many different things that can happen. Like, what if, I don't know, like, what if somebody else took a better offer? I don't know. I was like, oh my God. I felt like the part was for me, but I didn't know in my heart of hearts until they called.
Well, I'm so happy that you got it. So when you've done a lot of other things besides this too.
A couple other things, yeah.
So what made you, out of all the things you've done, what's the most exciting thing about being on the show that you didn't do before?
well, I didn't dance before. I do dance because I'm also a singer, so we can move. But I never danced before. I think the most exciting thing for me was to work with Tiana, honestly, because I'd met her one time when I was 14, but to actually like work with the girl in the Fade video was like, I had a fangirl moment. I was like, girl, like, give me some of that six-pack. But yeah, that was like the most exciting part for me because I've worked with a lot of people, but she just has this stamina that's like inhumane. Like, it's crazy.
Did she give you any of her tips of how to get your body that way?
She eats clementines all the time. So I don't know if that's a tip or trick, but I noticed like she eats really well, but that's one of the things, like she eats it all the time. Like all the time she has an orange in her hand. So
Hey, well, why not?
yeah, if it helps.
So what other things are you working on?
So I'm working on some music right now. So I think I'm going to drop a single. I don't have a date yet. It was going to be July 10th, but that's tomorrow. So I think I'm going to probably do it like the next week. It's called Selfish. So that's one thing I have going on. Other than that, we're just like, we're all in the same boat. Like we're auditioning. If we get a part, then you got to ask BET if they will be so kind to allow us to do it. But hopefully if Hit the Floor comes back for a 5th season. When it comes back, I will be right back here talking to you about it. So, yeah.
Well, it was a pleasure meeting you. And give us your social media.
Yeah, so it's at official KYNDALL. It's Kindle with a Y.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm here with Kathleen Bailess, and she's playing Kyle on Hit the Floor. How you doing?
I am so good. Don't you look beautiful?
Well, thank you very much.
And your Chanel. Your Chanel is gorgeous, girl.
I love your dress.
Thank you. You know, I'm in New York. I used to live here, and I know that if you ever doubt what you're wearing, just wear black. So,
Well, and you look smaller.
Yeah, thank you. Right. Cinch it in.
So how do you like being on the show?
I love Hit the Floor. I mean, it's our 4th season, so I mean, I it's a dream come true that we came back, and I love my character. I love my Hit the Floor family, and I think this season we're going to surprise a lot of people because we have a lot of twists and turns and new cliffhangers.
Looks steamy.
Oh, girl. It's so steamy. Like, I mean, honestly, I'm not just saying this. People are going to sweat when they're watching the first episode. Have you seen the first episode?
I glimpsed at it.
Okay. Well, tomorrow night, 10 o'clock.
I can't wait to see it.
Oh, good.
Well, I'm going to see it tonight of the premiere, but,
Yeah.
you know, that should be exciting.
Yeah, it's going to be so exciting. And we were just in Atlanta, and I think the crowd freaked out. We gave a little spoilers and told them what everybody's up to, but then we have all these new characters on the show, which is bringing a whole new life and a new light to the show.
So do you play a villain on the show?
Oh, no. My character, like her last name, is Hart. H-A-R-T. And so I think I can say this on TV.
Yes, you can.
She was a stripper turned dancer. Now she's a Devil Girl, and she worked her way up to the top, and now this season she's the captain of the Devil Girls.
Okay, well
So
that's
she's a boss lady now.
Okay, she's a boss lady.
Uh-huh.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
So what made you decide to do Hit the Floor?
Well, obviously I got the audition, and I saw that it was a dance. I had to dance, and also it was an acting role, and it was a stripper, and I was like, I don't know if I could play that. I don't know if I'm like.
Well, you're sexy.
Well,
Yes,
I
you're
don't know.
sexy.
Sometimes you just don't know. And so I looked up some YouTube videos of like Playboys makeup, and I tried to do the same thing. I'm sure it did not look anything like that. But, and I had 8 callbacks for this.
Wow, that's great.
Probably the most. James says that other people had 8 callbacks. I probably had the most. Because I had to dance and I have to act on the show. So I went in, I acted, and they said, can you dance? I said, yes. The next time I brought in the dance, and then the next time they were like, can you not bring it in as slutty? I was like, okay.
Wow.
Yeah, I know, right? And then I came in, and they were like, wait, we kind of detect an accent. And I said, yeah, I'm from Mississippi. And they're like, can you bring it back with your accent? And then that's how the role of Kyle kind of evolved.
Oh, so they wanted you to keep your accent.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because usually they want you to get rid of it, but no.
I know. And it makes my character lovable. Because there's something about, a Southern biatch that you just gotta
people
love.
like the Southern Belle, and
Yeah.
they love that. Well, you're beautiful.
Thank you. You're gorgeous.
Well, thank you very much. Now, what is the best thing about being on Hit the Floor? I mean, the dancing, I know you like the drama, but what are the main key things you like?
Oh, God. Honestly, I love the people that I work with. I enjoy going to work every single day because every day is a new adventure with these crazy people. I mean, we got some characters, but I also just love making art, and I love making the fans, wanting to want more. I mean, there's so many people outside right now waiting for this premiere and then tomorrow, and it's just exciting because the fact it's going on for like 6 years. This is going on like 5 years. It's a long time.
That's great. I mean, that's a big deal because in
Yeah.
television usually doesn't take. I mean,
Like we've
like
been in junior high and high school, you know. We don't want to graduate just yet.
no, don't graduate. Yes,
No,
Jack.
no.
Not yet. My opinion to you, I'm really proud of you. I've seen you do other work,
Thank you.
and you've come a long way.
Thank you.
So
darling.
congratulations.
Thank you. Same to you. Same to you.
And she looks fabulous. And who is this dress?
This is Giovanni.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Now, what other characters would you mind playing? Just say he said, "Oh, you can play any character you want. You like yours, but would you like to do something different?"
Or could I play somebody else on the show?
Yeah.
Who would I want to be on the show? Can I switch genders?
Okay, you could do that.
Okay. I would want to play probably Derek.
Okay.
Yeah, because first of all, he's a baller. Secondly, he's sexy. And thirdly, he's always in the drama. You know, so I feel like that would be fun and exciting and like different than my character.
Okay. Well, that's exciting. So it was so nice meeting you.
too,
I'm
you
so happy you
too.
came over to see
Thank
me.
you so much.
And give us your social media.
It's at Kat Bailess, KATBAILESS on Instagram and Twitter.
I'm here with McKinley Freeman as Derek Roman on Hit the Floor. How are you doing?
Doing fantastic. Thanks for having me.
So, what made you decide to get on Hit the Floor?
I think it was, well, originally it was a casting and I got booked in the job, and then this particular iteration was having the opportunity coming off another show to come back to it. So it was, yeah.
So, was it a requirement for you to be like naked? Like, because I see you don't have much clothes on.
Yeah, you know, I don't know if it's a requirement, but it seems to be real. It's pretty consistent.
Oh, okay. Well, you have a nice body. Well, unfortunately, you don't have anything off now, but you know, whatever.
Yeah, that'd be a weird way to walk down New York City, but I wouldn't be the only person.
Anyway, so what made you decide to pursue doing Hit the Floor? I mean, because it's other stuff you could have did, other shows you could have did. Why this show?
I don't. You know what? At the end of the day, I think with any job, it's about what connects you, and ultimately, when you're hustling in the beginning, you don't have the luxury of picking and choosing. So, for me to say I had a choice would be dishonest. So, this was a casting. I booked it, and then I went to work every day and made the most of it. And then that's how ultimately that went away. Booked another job. It came back, and that's how we're here. So,
Are you surprised it's lasted so long? I mean, it's been on the air for a while.
I'm to the extent that I'm surprised that it's been on so long and has the opportunity to keep going, is to the extent I'm more surprised and more appreciative of the fans that cared when people didn't. So while we've been on for a while, there have been gaps in there when we weren't, and we have amazing fans that have supported us and new fans that will join, I hope, and see what the show's about ultimately. Yeah.
So how has your life changed since being on Hit the Floor?
Well,
You have groupies now? Or how does that work?
I mean, it kind of is what it is. I think ultimately, you know, the more you walk around, the more people notice you, which is the product of having a job that puts you on television. But I think, you know, life for me is pretty cool. You know, I try to make the most of that comes, and at least to that which goes, and the rest of it is just kind of is what it is.
Do you fly back and forth to L.A.?
No, I live in Los Angeles.
Okay,
yeah.
you live in
So
Los
we're
Angeles.
just here
Okay.
for a few days.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how long are you guys going to be here? Are you just doing some stops and then?
Yeah, I think we're just doing like a bit of a press tour kind of thing, and I have to fly back tomorrow and start on another project, so just right back to work.
So I have a rumor that you're working on other things, bigger, like you're working on a movie or so. Is that true, or is that just a rumor?
I wouldn't say it was bigger. It's just
another opportunity.
Just another opportunity to try to make the most of it.
Okay.
Ultimately, yeah.
Okay. Well, I really appreciate talking with you.
Appreciate you asking
Can you
the
give
question.
us our social media? Your social media?
Yeah, I'm just at McKinley Freeman on Instagram and at McKinley Freeman on Twitter.
Okay. Well, thanks for coming
You're
over.
very welcome. You are very welcome.
It was a